So everyone, it's a great pleasure to actually talk about patient risk stratification, and we have a great deal of expertise on stage. It's very hard to speak after Stanislas, who is such a successful entrepreneur and really changing the way, in particular GP and whole what we do in hospitals. So I'm Pierre-Antoine Gouraud. I'm the head of the data clinic at Nantes University Hospital. So I've been running a biomedical data warehouse with 2.6 million patients, 62 million documents. We're doing LLM, synthetic data, a lot of great things. Thank you very much to AI4 Health for asking me to chair this session about patient stratification. And the one thing I wanted to share is when we talk about AI, when we talk about all these algorithms, in particular outside of the healthcare sector, most of the time, people would say, you know what, this is going to be terrible, it's going to be very normative, it's going to be one size fits all, and we'll hear that this afternoon in Marc Julien's talk. And we have three great experts to discuss that matter, because we believe it's actually the opposite in the healthcare sector. This is a unique opportunity to deliver to each patient at the right time of the disease, the right decision, the right piece of information that may be a game changer for medical decision. So we have Vincent Bouvier with us, CEO of Vidal. We have Samantha Padelou-Roch from the Elsan healthcare group, and we also have a startup with Sanae Sally from DiaDeep. I think, Vincent, I will give you, I want to ask you a question first, because you've been deployed in hospitals for quite a long time. You've been deploying algorithm, you've been helping the assessment of prescription. So why Vidal? How all these hospitals have been adopting your solution so far? And how this helps us about thinking about patient stratification?
Thank you for inviting us. So what we do as Vidal company, we provide medical knowledge at the point of care for mainly two reasons. First, avoid adverse drug effects, primum non nocere. And second, suggest the right drug, the right combination of drug for a patient. That's what we are doing.
For those of you who don't speak Latin, primum non nocere means first do no harm. That's part of the Hippocrates oath that all the medical students have to pronounce.
Yeah, so we provide this service for doctors, pharmacists, nurses, across all the patient pathway. And we've been doing that for many years with different technologies. The first one for many years was print directories. And we moved, and now we are using other technologies, including AI. I will explain.
Thank you very much. What about you, Samantha? Elsan is a very large group. How do you envision AI? How do you use it? Do you use it? And what might be the applications that are meaningful for your group?
Yes, it's true. Elsan is a very large group of private hospitals. We have 140 hospitals spread out across the country, and more than 7,000 physicians working among the hospitals. So delivering the best care is, of course, our goal, and we want to do it with the same quality everywhere in France. So patient stratification, AI, are a new approach that we are looking at and that we are testing in a pilot, and then rolling out across France when the pilots are successful. And we are looking at that with different use cases, because those approaches can be seen differently compared to the use case. So one of the use cases will be how to improve efficiency in delivering care. The other would be how to actually improve the care and how this can be used at the care system. And finally, how you can develop some new research beds of that. So those are the three main use cases we are looking at, and we are implementing them in real life on the field. So for example, to improve care organization, we are using tools, AI tools, to support the medication review done by the pharmacist. As it was mentioned, it's really important, especially for elder people who are suffering from polymedication, polypharmacy, to have those medical reviews when they arrive at hospitals. It takes a lot of time, like an hour and a half for one patient. And you see by the demography in France that the need is really, really high. And we don't have enough healthcare professionals to provide this level of care to all the patients. So AI is a true help to actually reduce the time we're going to spend. And so with the same amount of time, we can care like 3 to 4 times more patient. And especially we are using natural language processes to help to analyze the script and to facilitate this work so that pharmacists spend less time on doing retranscription and more time in actually taking care of patients. So this is one example. For care, we are using remote monitoring, and all the algorithm behind help actually to deliver care to those who need the more. And so if you don't need anything because your patient report outcome are well, then you keep going with your normal pathway. And when you have some alerts, then your patient pathway is immediately adapted. You can be either hospitalized or be seen by a physician. And in clinical research, this approach has demonstrated a benefit in the overall survival of 5 months. So 5 months in oncology is really, really huge. So this is something we have tested, and now we are rolling out everywhere in our group. And for the research, because we know that we already have some AI today, but we also need some data to develop some new AI for tomorrow. So we are building the ELSAN data warehouse, so we can have all the clinical data gathered in one place, so we can do some research to develop some new AI for tomorrow.
Very interesting indeed. Maybe even closer to medical decision, I'd like to hear you, Sanae, about how AI can change diagnostic decision making, and how do you do that at Diadip?
Let me talk about one number. It's 20%. 20% is the number of patients with breast cancer, early breast cancer, getting unnecessary chemotherapy. That's where risk stratification is important. Is to avoid this unnecessary treatment, over-treatment, under-treatment. And there, in this use case or this situation, AI models will be helping the medical doctors, the oncologists in my case, because we are working in cancer, to get them more insights that they can't see with the human eye. And it's the way the decision about the treatment will be made will be changing with more accuracy. And for sure, it's the, let's not forget, AI will be a game changer, but it's the synergy between the healthcare professional and the AI models that will bring the biggest value. And it's something that sometimes we forget about it. We talk a lot about the AI models, and we less talk about it's the synergy. For me, at least, our purpose is to empower these doctors, to empower oncologists, pathologists, with these tools, to train them to use them in order to eliminate at least the 20% for breast cancer of unnecessary treatment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's right that we're talking a lot about algorithm, about model, we are obsessed about technique, but you started to say that, I think, Samantha, is that the algorithm the core of the focus? Is that the application of the algorithm? Or is that actually the data that will feed the algorithm in the next generation?
Everything is important, but it's really important to remind that if you have a great tool, the tool should actually unlock the power of the healthcare professional and support them on a day-to-day basis. And so what really matters once you have a greatly developed tools is how this will change the care on a routine basis, and all the organizational change you need to do around. And it has some changes in the ways you are working. For example, when you use that tool, you need to have very good clinical data entered into the files. Because without data, you cannot have those type of tool used.
It's actually why we have a data clinic at Nantes University Hospital and not an AI service. Vincent, so what about you? AI algorithm are changing the way you develop your algorithm? How does it change that for your company?
This is complete change. First of all, we started to use AI technologies a long time ago, let's say 5 or 7 years ago. The way we are designing our clinical decision supports, that's how we call it. We started to use machine learning a long time ago in order to capitalize on all what the team, the way they are shaping the CDS for 20 years. Now, using machine learning, we do that in a much better, reliable way than we did in the past. So that's the first point. But on top of that, the real revolution is coming from the data that are going to feed our algorithms, which are fixed rules at the moment. And we're going to use AI for gathering all the patient data that are going to feed our decision support modules. And that's where is the real new things, because going more and more data, and I mean the decision we're going to provide or the help support we're going to provide to doctors and healthcare providers will change because of that. And this will be based on natural language processing, mainly technologies.
Great, I think that's really the point. We're talking a lot about application. We see mostly application very upstream, the data chain value, a lot of application in research, sometime in discovery of new drugs and new molecules. We seem to be all convinced that this will become a standard, but how it really goes into a business that really is useful for patients, that's really probably harder. For you, Sanae, it's a long journey. It's a long journey for startups. How do we make this AI-driven clinical decision support system, AI-assisted decision? How do we make that a standard? How do we make that easier?
But let's say we have a lot of mountains to move. The first thing is the adoption of these type of tools from the institutions, from the medical health professionals. We are changing the way they are working. They learned in all their medical journey. So we need them to adopt this, to see the value of these tools, to adopt them, to see their benefits. That's the first mountain. The second one, and it's bigger, is the healthcare system wasn't fast enough for this type of tools. So there is reimbursement, for example. It's the first business model that startups are looking for, but it takes like many years before going to be reimbursed, if we say in France, for example. And there is also that the most beneficial, the benefits are very important for the patients, but the tools that we are building our startups are used by pathologists, for example, for oncologists or for general doctors, and who will be paying for this type of tool? Is it the patients? Is it the institutions? Is it the prescriber? So I think that that make afraid a lot of startups going there, and lots of investors financing this type of startups, even if there is a big value of these solutions. And I hope that one day, quickly, we can see all these mountains moved away, so to have better care for the patients using these tools.
Thank you very much. I think both of you actually show at different levels how much patient stratification, different needs, different type of opportunities really leverage the way we're going to change hospital settings for you, Vincent, at the prescription level, at the organization of the whole institution and group of care delivery institution. And there's also, we need startups, we want startups to really focus on applications and user-driven, as we just heard from Dr. Lieb. Maybe as a conclusion, maybe one word about patient stratification. Personalization, is that the ultimate stratum, the when we go to the patient at a given time in his journey with the disease and its prevention? Maybe Vincent?
Exactly what, as Stanislas from Dr. Lieb said earlier, we are at the time where you have on one side medical knowledge, on the other side patient that are coming. And the new generation of decision support modules will be the mix of that. And that will be the revolution, because we will personalize the way we provide decisions.
Thank you very much, Samantha. You know, we discussed that on our way to the meeting. It's amazing how healthcare institution and even the training of the next generation of caregiver, including our students, they have no clue, or we haven't changed so much, given the fact that we have access to data, we have access to algorithm. So is that a specific role for the healthcare field? There are particular challenges. What's the Elsan view on that?
I think things are moving very fast, and all those tools that are going to be progressively used will change the way we are delivering care, and will help to do some more personalized care. And actually, it will have many impacts in terms of efficiency and quality of care. We will be able to deliver more personalized care. And by doing that, we will do a better service for patients, but also for the community, because this will help to have more relevant care and to avoid some unnecessary care, or actually to have some efficiency in terms of organization. And we will do that by improving our way of working, and also the work on clinical data will be absolutely essential. And it will have a second aspect and a second positive thing. It will also help to deliver some new research tomorrow based on data. So actually those tools will help today by delivering more efficient care and better quality of care, but it will also help tomorrow to do some research and to develop some new tools that will be in a virtuous cycle.
So thank you very much. We are very well on time. Thank you very much for your insight. Each and every one of us will be available today to answer your question or further discuss at the different level how we will change the way we look at patient, not as a group, but as individuals that may benefit from on-demand computation and real-time data access. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.